Hello, I'm Simon Barrowcliff, Senior Technical Specialist at Element Materials Technology. I work in the certification section, and I've got my colleague Jayson here with me today. We're going to just very briefly talk about some of the updates to the EX standards in the IEC 60079 and ISO 879 series of standards. Jayson, what are the updates that are going to be most pertinent to people watching this?
Yeah, I think it's a very busy time at the moment for technical committees, within IEC and ISO. There are a lot of standards coming out in the next couple of years, but I think primarily the standards of interest to most manufacturers are the new Part 0 coming out, which will cover every single EX product out there.
Yeah, it's going to be big changes when that comes in, and big implications on the existing certifications and test reports. And
exactly, yeah. In the next edition, so edition 8 of the IEC standard, there are 10 major technical changes.
Right.
The bigger of those are markings for ambient temperature ratings.
Right.
So the previous assumption that if you don't mark a product, it's -20 to +40 degrees.
Yeah.
That's no longer an assumption. Every product must be marked.
It's a bit of real estate issues on some of the smaller products then. Yeah.
Oh, if you've got a very small product, it's a lot to fit on your markings. But also, there are new requirements for electrostatics.
Right.
So if you've got non-metallic products, how are you going to get around these new requirements that are now being brought in? These are new test requirements for how they test the products. So it's something to think about.
And when's that due out?
Summer 2026.
Right.
So
okay. Yep.
Be a good one. There's also Part 1, so flameproof enclosures. There are quite a few more technical changes in there. So there are 21, but the bigger of those, the bigger changes. For breathers and drains, so if you've got those, there are new test requirements for reference pressure tests.
Right.
To be considered. But also there's new instructional requirements as well. So instruction manuals may need to change. Again, that's another logistical problem potentially for manufacturers. If you've squeezed everything into your manual, how do you add this new information in?
Right.
Something just to think about.
Yep.
But also there's a new encapsulation standard that's just been published. It's now available.
Right.
Thankfully, there's one technical change and it doesn't affect any testing. So they've clarified the requirements, but it's a clarification because labs were already applying these new requirements.
Right, okay.
So there's nothing additional to be done. They've just released it so that everyone is following the same requirements, applying the standard in the same way.
Yeah, and I suppose with all of these, we talked about major technical changes in there, but of course, in amongst the majors, there are extensions, there's minors, and of course, those changes in terminology, punctuation. We've all seen the red line versions of these standards.
Yeah.
So even when we're saying 10 major changes, 21 changes, you can expect many, many more in the text. So really people have got to look out for those two new standards in 2026, and then perhaps to a lesser extent the -18 for now, but still, the headline is big changes, but actually behind that, if there's 21 major changes in -1, you can guarantee there's an awful lot of text has changed as well.
Yeah, and the major changes will primarily affect those with existing certification.
Yeah.
If you're bringing a new product for certification, all of the changes will apply, they'll just apply differently.
Yeah.
So there'll be different ways in which you assess the product and certify the product. But only the major changes affect really those existing certifications.
So as these are significant changes, are we planning to do anything in terms of providing information to customers?
Yeah, so there'll be some white papers that we're going to publish shortly, covering some of these standards. And also in the future, there'll be some similar sessions to this where we can, by video, update the manufacturers.
Okay, good. So those are the big three. Now I know there's some other changes sort of on the horizon. Just want to run through those while we've got people.
Yeah, on the subject of electrical products that cover in the 60079 series, there's a new assemblies, so Part 46.
Right.
There's a new standard coming out for that next year. And then on the non-electrical product side, there's a new Part 36 and Part 37, which are due to come out in the summer next year. So these are going to be I expect some significant changes from the current, but again, when we know more information, we'll provide an update by white paper and video.
Yeah, and I suspect that particularly the mechanical one is a topic in itself.
It's a big topic, yeah.
Okay.
But also affecting every single manufacturer, there's a new standard coming out, a new edition of the quality management system.
Right.
Standard, so Part 34.
Right.
That again will require endorsement and adoption by the notified body group for ATEX and AXMC for IECX before it is rolled out. But as soon as we have information, we'll give it to people, and then you can prepare before IECX and ATEX start enforcing it.
Yep. Okay, and I think the message for people working to these standards or designing to standards at the moment, go and have a look at what TC31, the technical committee, are working on to see when these changes are coming in. If you've got a product that's coming out perhaps in 18 months or 2 years, you might want to think about the new standard rather than the existing one. So well worth keeping a track of that. And of course, you can always come and talk to us if you want any guidance on that, and we'll do what we can to help. So yeah, thank you, Jayson.
Thank you.
Thank you.